What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Firewall, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes
What's up? What's up?
and Levon Maynard.
What up?
What is going on? So another action-packed week. Like we talked about last week, we're back to the regular schedule. So look for us 4 times a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, to knock out a discussion. So this week, usually I don't give a heads up, but I'm trying something new. So this week we talk about some good news with Amazon. On Tuesday, we're going to be discussing some White House changes, and then on Wednesday, we'll be talking about some discussion about hacking and your privacy and what have you. So not giving away too much, but give you a little sneak peek so you tune in. So with that being said, I turn over to Levon for this week's news, or this day's news.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, so today we have a article that Ryan actually put me on to. This is Afrotech, Afrotech.com, and this is an article by Najira Parkins. This is talking about an Amazon scientist named Nashlie Sephus. And it looks like she's actually building a $25 million tech hub in her hometown in Mississippi. And just give a little history of a little background of her. She works for Amazon as a scientist, applied science manager for its artificial intelligence initiative. And she actually has a bachelor's degree, a master's, and a doctorate in computer engineering. So she's got some a pretty big background. She's had a lot of schooling, a lot of knowledge. But so she took upon herself, while still working for Amazon, she's actually building a tech hub in Jackson, Mississippi, her hometown, to help train the next generation of tech geniuses. Let's see, according to Face to Face Africa, Sephus is turning downtown Jackson, which isn't well known for its technology prowess, into a $25 million tech district made up of 12 acres of vacant lots and 7 buildings, roughly 500,000 square feet of workspace to put her community on the map in the tech world. So this is a pretty big deal. I mean, this is pretty awesome that she's actually investing this money. I mean, she also had like a startup. I think this is where obviously works for a big company, Amazon, as a pretty much one of the head honchos there. But she also had like a startup of her own called Beanpath. And I think that that helped her accumulate the wealth that she needed to put this investment into this tech hub. But this is like another kind of a great story that we're hearing about, like people investing in these communities that are mostly black residents that you typically would see that they would not have the opportunity to get a big tech job, or it's not like an Amazon's and other like Microsoft and Google's in the area. So it's a great opportunity for people that are there to, first of all, get an education, and then they can go from this tech hub to bigger and better things. But I think this is pretty awesome. I think she mentioned in here as well they mentioned that they're trying to make it like self-sufficient, so that they can work there, they can eat there, sleep there. It's like a whole like self-sufficient like facility. But I think this is like an awesome story. I mean, I think we had another story about Atlanta. I think there's some other maybe that was Google that was putting something together up there. But I love seeing like little stories about this, like this, that are focused around supporting and enhancing, like maybe you may consider maybe some lower income areas or places that don't have as many opportunities as some of the other like major cities, like the New Yorks and the San Francisco's and all these other kind of like big tech locations. So this looks like it's going to be another hot spot. I'm sure we're going to hear some more about it in the future. But with that said, do you guys have some thoughts on this investment? Maybe yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely. So I'm pretty proud of it, right? So she goes back home to do the investment, $25 million, 12 acres, 500,000 square feet of workspace. So It's definitely one of those stories where we try to capture where somebody's doing something good, especially it's a woman of color in IT going back home to invest in her own hometown. So I mean that's great. Um, it doesn't specifically say what she'll be doing when she gets there, but being obviously working for Amazon, I'm sure there's some kind of collaboration there or some kind of affiliation. So definitely. I've never been to Jackson, Mississippi. I've obviously heard of it. So I don't know how many districts, how much tech is actually there, but anything, you know what I mean? Like starting anything up for the people who are there, definitely inspires and creates jobs and as well as just highlights her passion for her hometown. So I'm pretty stoked. What about you, Shannon?
So yeah, I feel the same way, right? So like something else they mentioned in the article is that she's spending $500,000 of her own money, right? So like, granted, she works for a well-known company, right? One of these companies that makes trillions of dollars a year, right? But she's putting her money where her mouth is, which is a good thing, right? It's not like she's going out to just crowdsource and say everybody make this happen for me. Like she believes enough in it to give $500,000 of her own money, which is great. You know what I mean? Like stand by what you say you want to do. Another thing, so I had to look up the demographics on Jackson, Mississippi, right? So it's about 160,000 some odd people, maybe a little bit less, and it's 82% black, right?
Mm.
So I've had family that's lived in Jackson before, you know what I mean? So 82% black. So this is a good opportunity, for the minorities out there that want to get into this, right? Like we talk about this all the time about putting the opportunities out there in the HBCUs, having these companies that have these different programs that make it to where they can advance, when it comes to cyber and IT. And like you mentioned, Levon, they've been coming out east, to the south, where there's a lot of where a lot of the minorities are, you know what I mean? Not just black, but you got a lot of Latino, Hispanic, people down there as well, you know what I mean? That you have some of these second generation people that come up, their parents may have been, from another country that come in and they get schooled in America, you know what I mean? And they start to try to go through STEM programs and things like that. And this could be a success for them as well. You know what I mean? Not just people that grew up in those cities, but people that, may come to those cities from somewhere else. Like, even though she's doing this in Jackson, she could have people from Tennessee, Arkansas, you know what I mean? Like, move to this area. And I'm not going to sit here and say Jackson is the next tech hub, right? I'm not saying that, right? But because especially with it being a city of only like 160,000, I want to imagine the infrastructure can have it to where it's San Francisco, where Silicon Valley is at. They got a lot more people out in Silicon Valley than they do in Jackson, Mississippi. But that's something that'll take time, right? But if you bring the people in, like the city will have to recognize, hey, we need to do better, right? I'll tell you like this. I mean, no offense to anybody in Mississippi, but y'all roads, man, I've driven them roads in Mississippi.
Right.
Right now, man, y'all, they need some work. You know what I
Right.
mean? But but no, this is a good thing. Again, she's putting her money where her mouth is, you know what I mean? And she brought it home. You know what I'm saying? So that's a step in the right direction. I love to see this.
Yeah. No, that's great. I think it's a great thing. And hopefully, maybe, you never know as far as like, I know you mentioned that, it's a smaller population and it won't be like as big as like the Silicon Valleys, but who knows what the future may have in store. Maybe eventually, like, more tech giants will start like investing money out there to see that they're making, big progress. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, we got all these like, well-educated, minorities coming out this tech hub over here in Jackson. This is actually a good spot. We'll put I don't know, some sort of data center over here and start like, taking advantage of some of this knowledge that's coming out of this location. But at the same time, it's like it's going to take some time, if anything. If it does happen, it may take many years before that can even be considered as a possibility. But nonetheless, it's a good story.
Yeah, definitely. So I think they said that in the article, it speaks of the timeline being between 3 and 5 years. So with collaboration, I mean, maybe 10 years from now, you can see the Amazons or the Apples and what have you coming to tap those resources. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a good story. Like
Yeah.
we'll keep track of it. So we'll be here for the next 3 to 5 years.
Right. That's right.
We'll let you know what goes down. So that being said, Always a great discussion. Stay tuned throughout the rest of the week. Again, on Tuesday, we'll be talking about some new White House initiatives. On Wednesday, we'll have a probably pretty good discussion about our particular views on privacy. And then on Friday, we'll go through the rundown where we've consumed a lot of stuff this week or in previous week. So we'll go through that and tell you what we think and feel about the material we've covered. So thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Devon. And thank you for listening. So please like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned. You can reach us at our social medias through www.theothersideofthefirewall.com, and you can hit us up personally. I am at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy on Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse. And you, Levon?
Nice. You can hit me up at Levon Maynard on the Twitters.
There it is. So stay safe, stay secure.
Take care.